Yeah, that's still regarding to the last video. No, everything is related, of course, I know, but I stumbled across this one. Visit Murmansk. Museum Reserve Petroglyphs of Kanozero. And here we have some pictures. We will check out the first one up close. This is one. Those people who are familiar with David Talbot's Saturn myth, the wheel in the sky. That's an amazing sight. There's so much different kinds of pictures. And as you can see, 1996, the recent one was made. Museum Reserve Petroglyphs of Kanezero. Description: the museum is dedicated to an amazing discovery made relatively recently in 1997. Petroglyphs of Kanaozero are a unique historical and archaeological monument dating back to 2,000 years BC, which is one of the most significant archaeological monuments of the far north of Europe. The monument has the status of a federal cultural heritage site. Yeah, I probably don't read too much today. At the moment, about 1,300 images have been discovered in 18 groups on 3 islands in the lonely mainland rock. These images were left by primitive people who lived in the Stone Age, more precisely in the Neolithic area. These were the tribes of sea hunters. The stay of people here was a temporary nature. No camps or burials were found. Almost half of the images of the Kanozero complex are located on the Kamennyy Skalisti Island. At the top of the island, there is a rocky ledge with a forked top, which testifies the special significance of this place to the ancient man. The largest group of rock carvings of Kamennyy Islands is closed by a protective dome. The construction work was completed in 2015. Museum keepers are constantly on duty at Kanozero who protect the monument and conduct excursions. In Umba, there is an exhibition hall of the museum which you can visit and get a complete picture of the unique complex of rock art. So we are on Google Earth now. That's the lake where we have those petroglyphs. And just for the science, here has the quake been. We are up here. Ozero Kanozero. So they were telling about an island. I was searching for an island. And where was it? Yeah, here. Check it out. It's marked. Here we have the petroglyphs, and if you zoom in there, historical landmark, and we even have pictures of rain clouds. And that's there they tell that the petroglyphs are here and these kind of things. But actually, maybe we should go to Google Maps. Yeah, actually, we don't have to, because here are the petroglyphs marked. But they were talking about an island, and here's the island. And the place of the petroglyphs, I guess. There is something going on which is really intriguing. Did they put on a mirror or what? Yeah, but now to something different. Weather. Or actually not, because I took a screenshot and I enhanced a little bit the contrast and things. That's really an amazing sight, and I haven't found too much pictures of that or of those petroglyphs. I just wanted to show that there are many. Yeah, but now, weather. Severe weather Europe. Eastern Europe impacted by an extreme Arctic cold blast and snow next week as the southern lobe of the polar vortex heads over Russia. Yeah, I made a video yesterday before that. This article came out where I was talking about the Kursk magnetic anomaly, about the spring equinox and stuff. Thanks to the pattern change developing, a powerful high-pressure system over northern Europe and early March Arctic cold blast with temperature around -15 is forecasted to spread into Eastern Europe in the coming days. The favorable flipped pattern delivers extremely cold weather and snow also farther west into Central and Southern Europe next week. This is due to the polar vortex southern lobe turning towards Russia and Europe after being parked over the United States and Canada for most of the winter season. The European continent has been lacking significant impacts of snow and cold this winter, with more or less mild weather for weeks. Contrary, the weather across the Atlantic was harsh, with frigid cold over Canada and major winter storms across the US. Wondering why? That's the polar vortex above us, which has been unusually strong this year. And this is now about to change. This weekend, the general weather pattern over Europe is expected to make a significant flip, developing a strong blocking high over western and northern parts of Europe, Kursk magnetic anomaly. When this occurs, it opens a corridor for the intrusion of very cold continental air mass from Arctic Russia into Europe. Kursk magnetic anomaly. No. Wrong. It's somewhere here, and then we have the surface conductivity anomaly, which goes here. Anyway, the weather dynamic over the continent will start worsening over the weekend with a strengthening high-pressure system over Western Europe, first gradually expanding towards the north, with a flowing turning into the northerly around the blocking high. A huge reservoir of frigid cold air will emerge from the Arctic region of northern Asia towards Eastern Europe next week. Very cold temperatures will stay there for days, spread across Western Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Poland, Slovakia, Moldova, and Romania, also expanding further west into Central and Southern Europe as well as across the Balkan Peninsula. The worst cold with temperatures near -15 to 20 degrees, however, is forecast to overspread Ukraine and Western Russia from the mid next week into the weekend. Extreme cold spreads towards Ukraine next week. The weather pattern will set the European continent into a locked-in position, meaning the cold will likely extend for days, lasting into mid-March, depending on the potential waves interacting with the cold air mass intrusion frontal system could bring some decent amounts of snow across the East Ukraine, Belarus, Romania, and a large part of the southern Balkans in particular. The activity of the polar vortex is actually the main driving factor behind those major cold outbreaks across continents from the north. The activity of the polar vortex is actually the main driving factor behind those major cold outbreaks across continents from the north. No, it's not. Definitely not. Because the polar vortex is just an effect of the Balkan current which goes through Earth, which keeps us connected to the sun. So, and also the fact that we are going into the equinox time, so the energy intake into Earth's atmosphere will change. We have a shifting magnetic North Pole, which is probably now gaining more energy due to the fact that we are going into the spring and summer. There will be more energy flowing. This is maybe also the reason why the Kursk magnetic anomaly all like now gets strong again, because I think it's somehow positively charged, and now we have been in the winter, which is somehow the negative, because it's cold, we have minus temperature, it's negative, then we go to the summer, it's positive, so the Kursk magnetic anomaly somehow makes again the really strong connection to the things above, to all those other atmospheric layers and what have you. Furthermore, the what was there? The igneous intrusion rocks. The Siberian traps. They are like basically really metal-rich mountains, so probably they will act in geomagnetic activities as some kind of amplifier, since they contain a lot of metal. But anyway, let's continue. Before we head into deeper details regarding the potential evolution of the winter storm across Europe, here's a quick overview of what is it and how it runs. Our daily weather. What is the polar vortex? Actually, you can read the rest if you want to. I wanted to show you something else, which is windy. We cannot zoom more farther out. More farther. Anyway. But anyway, we get this high pressure system up here. We have the Azores somewhere down here. And now checking out this region here, will be hit by really bad weather. Spain, Portugal, France, probably even northern Africa, England, Ireland, Scotland. They might take some really heavy impacts weather-wise, because the high pressure system is blocking them, the low pressure system, from coming into the mainland of Europe to some degree. So I would say they're like in England and on the coastal region here, all the way, really bad weather, at least for a week or so. Stormy. Also La Palma. We could actually have a look at rainstorms. So now we can see where it's snowing or raining. And again, that's a forecast, it might be wrong. This region here, you might have a look at it. About this region has been told in the article. Here we have those other maybe heavy rain and snowfalls. And I'm just wondering how this is gonna develop as we go into spring and summer with these really strong storms now already in winter time. So there might be something spectacular happening in springtime. I mean, just imagine this kind of weather system situated here. And I expect like really heavy floods in springtime in Central Europe, like this region here. And also, of course, we can take them also. Actually, all Europe. Maybe also up here in the north. I don't know. But yeah, probably you get some food. This would be wise. Storable food. And yeah, move to higher ground. Thanks. Bye.